Do you know what time it is? It is time to talk to NECROBUTCHER from Mayhem is on the line. Hello, brother. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How's it going, brother? Welcome to the Metal Mixtape here on KSKQ. I'm so excited to have you on. We are talking to NECROBUTCHER from Mayhem. How's it going today, bro?
Well, it's the time difference and all. It's 6:30 over here. Good morning.
Well, you know what? I appreciate it so much, dude, and I hope you're having a good morning. I hope it's beautiful over there in Norway. How's the weather right now?
Yeah, it's excellent. Sun came up and stuff. You asked me previously if we should pre-record because of the time difference, and basically is I have a bit sleeping disorder, so I never know when I'm sleeping. So basically, any other day and every other day, I just stay up all night, and then
Well,
4 hours.
Well,
sometimes.
Well, I appreciate it, man. You know, you're a metal god in a lot of our eyes, so I appreciate you making time. Before we get into the interview, what do you like eating for breakfast?
Breakfast?
Yeah, just before we get into the interview, since it's morning time over there, what do you enjoy eating for breakfast?
Okay. Well, I'm not a big breakfast eater. Normally I just drink coffee for breakfast.
No,
basically, that's what I'm doing right now, actually. I was in bed until 10 minutes ago and trying to sleep. But it was hot outside. We Norwegians are not used to this hot nights, and it was about 20 degrees Celsius here.
Wow.
Last night. So it's pretty hard to sleep.
Oh yeah, no,
we don't have air conditions and stuff here. Normally doesn't get that hot in the night.
Oh yeah, I could.
But you guys are pretty much up. I mean, you guys know about cold weather too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we get, this is Joel here, we get cold weather here, but we also get extremely hot weather here. Right now we're about to hit our summer where it gets so hot, we can't live without an air conditioner, so we feel you, man.
Yeah, it's kind of opposite thing here. I noticed that in the States, many people go outside in the morning, start their car, run into the house again, and then come out later. We do the same, but we turn on the heat. You guys turn on the AC.
That's awesome.
Basically. And also, thanks for the interview request and all. When I saw that an American radio station wanted to have a chat, I was thinking, we were so pissed off about what happened with the tour and all. We were supposed to be there in March, or we were already there. Did a pre-production in Chicago. We're on our way down to Denver, and then just had to turn the bus around and bought new tickets and got our asses out of the U.S. before the whole thing just went to fuck.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. A lot of people had to cancel their tours, and a lot of people have been staying inside. But one thing I've noticed from everybody staying inside, that everybody's working on new music all the time.
Yes.
All right. So
I guess that people got stressed out, and maybe some good will come out of it, but I mean, everything is going to be about COVID-19. I'm already sick and tired of it, so I don't want to hear any songs about it. For fuck's sake.
All right, well, so I've got some questions for you, and
okay.
One of them's pretty obvious. I think the first one's kind of obvious, but it's one that I'm sure everybody wants to know. What bands really got you into music? What bands really got you into black metal? I mean, when you were a kid, did your parents play anything that stuck with you, or did you just find music on your own?
Well, my uncles were deep into Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
And so I liked the Rolling Stones when I was a kid. And so then, and in the 70s, bands like Kiss and some, Uriah Heep, some other bands came up, and I kind of liked the distortion on the guitars and stuff. But I still thought that the Stones were kind of cooler, but I didn't like all the love songs and stuff. I liked the rougher stuff, preferably what Keith Richards was singing.
Right.
And but in 1980, or maybe it was 81, I heard Motörhead, The Ace of Spades.
Yeah, that's a great song.
That kind of changed everything for me, actually.
Yeah, totally.
So when you ask about black metal, I would say black metal wasn't that big, or we kind of. There was a band from Newcastle called Venom that we discovered in.
Yep.
That must have been 82 or 83. That was kind of a progression from Motörhead, but I think that's a well-known fact. That Kronos and these guys, they were huge Motörhead, but where you can actually hear it in the music too. It's kind of what we would call today black and roll, I guess.
Right. What's funny? Is there's been some new black and roll bands that have been coming out lately, like that Kvelertak band, and there's another one, Heims. They're both playing this odd but rad mixture of really catchy, like, rock and roll riffs, but with black metal distortion and black metal vocals, and it's like super catchy. Yeah. And even Dark Throne does stuff like that too sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So okay, so that's
Musical, I guess, too, has a couple of albums in that way.
For sure. I also grew up with the Rolling Stones. My mom was a huge Stones fan. She would get drunk and listen to the Rolling Stones at maximum volume at like 3 a.m. while I was trying to sleep to go to school. Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it really got me into music. My mom and my dad were kind of nuts, but so let's move on to another question, one that I'm definitely interested. When you're not playing music, what is your, if you mind sharing, do you work a regular job? What do you do when you're in your off time? Do you have any hobbies? Something that might surprise us? Do you like sew like underwear or something, or I don't know, whittle wood pipes or something?
Yeah. Well, I don't have time to work, obviously.
Yeah.
Because of this Mayhem thing, it takes
right.
a lot of time. I might have had another job, but first of all, I'm a bit also lazy, I would say. And if I can get by, why bother?
Right.
I'm not a striver, And another thing is that, basically the time and so I have some other hobbies which I can't talk about on the radio.
It's okay.
but I'll tell you something funny. The older I get, the more healthy I kind of start to think that maybe I should start to, I don't know. So that's what I'm doing these days, trying to eat healthy, exercise, and basically also trying to have a good time.
Yeah, that's good. It's always good to improve yourself.
I've been working so hard for many years with the band and the touring and everything, and so now when we got this break, suddenly I start to realize that I didn't have much time for myself, and it's
For
good
sure.
to and to not get stressed out about it, because we got 90 gigs. No, it was 105 gigs cancelled.
Yeah. I know. Everybody's going through that right now, and it's such a weird thing. It's the whole world is completely flipped.
Can't bring you down.
Yeah, we can. Well, that's the thing. We can't let it bring it down because it's literally happening to everybody. So it's like, we can't feel sorry for ourselves. We just have to soldier on and maybe make new music for when things do happen again.
Yeah, no, also I'm working on my next book and stuff. So
that's awesome.
Plenty of stuff to do. And, I need to paint my house, stuff that I haven't done for a while, like I've been thinking about doing, cutting down trees.
That's awesome, man.
Very black metal. So speaking of your house, which makes me think of your hometown in Oslo, are people for the most part aware of who you are, who Mayhem is? How do you and if they do recognize you, how do the interactions go? Are they positive for the most part, or do you get a lot of horns?
It's not like in America where you go into an airport and people with the airport staff come over and ask you for an autograph and so you don't have a clue. And even after I tell them, we are a black metal band from Norway, they still want the autograph,
That's pretty
which
funny.
is very weird, because
that is
where
weird.
we come from here, it's not. We are more, I don't know. In my case, I stuck my face out for many years now in the media. TV, newspapers, and all that, all the time. I have a story today. It's not even my own story. It's another story about a fucked up guy, a musician that died. Got a friend of him to shoot him with a shotgun.
Yeah.
But all these songs were about killing himself. That he wanted to kill himself.
Right.
And so this journalist called me and said, "Hey, do you know that guy?" I didn't even know the guy, but I liked the music, so they said, "Okay." So we put your picture and a couple of comments in the paper. So it's weird how it's how it is these days. It's a new documentary coming out by the NRK, which is the National Broadcasting here in Norway.
Really?
In the fall, they just now decided to make a documentary about the black metal, Norwegian black metal scene.
Really? Do you think they're going to?
Now after everybody else did it, movies, shitloads of documentaries, all the national TVs had done it. Suddenly they came up around and, but instead of telling them, maybe this is a little bit late. I'm more like, okay, whatever, let's do it.
Right.
But I also, I told them, this is one of the last times I'm going to go on camera and tell the same old fucking story. I wrote the book.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One of the reasons why I wrote the book is also when I was writing, I was thinking, every time a journalist would ask me something from the past, I would just say, read the fucking book.
No, seriously. And
that's a joke,
Yeah.
But,
and honestly, I didn't want to get into the past of Mayhem, the 90s Mayhem. I'd rather talk about what you guys are doing now and just talk about you know what I mean? Because that story has been told so many damn times, we all know it. But what Mayhem is doing right now is amazing. Your newest album is great. It's really good, and kind of leads me into another question. What was your favorite album to work on? Is your favorite time period for Mayhem right now?
Maybe.
I mean, you guys are killing it. You guys are absolutely destroying it.
Actually, when we were recording the album, I had a feeling that I didn't have for many years, and it was kind of growing in the studio. Me, I was thinking more and more this album is the best we've done for almost 20 years.
It's really good, and I like the last few albums. I mean, I like all the albums, but I mean, I really feel like the last few have been so good. And this new one, it's like as soon as I heard it, instantly. I mean, I can literally think of multiple tracks right now that are like so good. Let's see here. Malum was really good. I really like that one. Agenda Ignis was really good. The kind of title track, Aeon Daemonomian, Daemon Spawn, which reminded me of Deicide, Daemon Spawn, the Kako Daemon. I saw that was in the lyrics. Was that like somehow a little nod to Deicide there?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I didn't write that lyric, so I can't tell you that. Right on.
I like it. It was really cool because it made me think of that old awesome Deicide shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. But as long as it reminded you of something good.
Right. Deicide has certainly kind of slipped over the years, but that old shit was fucking badass. But anyways, it didn't sound anything like that. Just that line reminded me of it. But no, the songs on this album are incredible, and I have to thank you very much for this album because it's given me a lot of entertainment.
Yeah, we are very proud of this album too, and we just was very anxious to come out on the road and do it. And we have 4 or 5 songs from that album in the live set.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We did a European tour, about 30 gigs, and then a tour in Russia and stuff in February before everything stopped up. But we are ready to go on. We're not going to write a new album and just forget about this one. No. We have 160 gigs left to do on this album, and we're going to finish that before we vulture out to make a new album.
That's a good choice.
We need to stay,
I think that's
stay focused too.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice because, like I said, the tracks on this album are so good. People are going to be so happy to hear this shit live.
And also, I'm very happy about the fact that not since 1993 I had a song, a lyric on a Mayhem album.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, and actually, I know a little bit about this, actually. Wasn't it a song on... Hold on, don't tell me. I got it right here because I have De Mysterious in front of me. If I remember correctly, it was Cursed in Eternity that you did lyrics for?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, right on.
That was the last lyric I wrote for them before this last album. I had written up some ideas, and then we ended up using this song called Bad Blood.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, so, that's a good one. That's actually one of the ones that I really like on the album. So yeah, that's really cool.
Good. Yeah, it was written by Charles Hedger, he's the English guitarist we've been working with the last almost 10 years.
So I have to ask.
They collaborated, both guitarists on this one. Charles got 4 songs, and Telok have 8.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of black metal, do you keep up at all with like the current black or death metal or extreme metal at all? Like, are you aware of like the last few years of how much crazy good, unfortunately, underground black metal there is right now? I've been just a few examples. Esok Trillium, what's one dude from France, amazing stuff. Imperial Triumphant, one of the best bands out there. Mare Cognitum, their newest split with Spectral Lore was absolutely intense and one of the best things I've ever heard. Are you into any newer stuff, or do you stick to your roots and generally listen to the older stuff?
First of all, I would like to say one thing. What you're saying, that you just mentioned a bunch of bands there that you liked.
Right.
And it's shitloads of bands.
Right.
And so this is the thing with this kind of music. If you're a fan of this kind of music, it's just not enough just to be a fan. You have to fucking start your own band too.
Yep.
that's the trend with this kind of music, because people get into this, get so much into it that it's just not enough. They have to start their own band.
That's why. That's actually why I play, because there's I need to play.
There's no greater fans than that. That's the ultimate type of fan, like who are so into the shit that they have to start their own band.
Yeah.
And like when we started out, we had, we picked some Motorhead songs, some Venom songs, some Dead Kennedy songs and stuff that we played on rehearsal plays, Black Sabbath songs.
That's
nice.
awesome.
But these guys are now playing our songs,
Right.
Death Crush, Freezing Moon, and all that, this. So, no, I like it.
Yeah.
But back to if I know any of them, there is some local bands sometimes open up for us, and I meet those guys sometimes. Right. And then there's some bands that contact me for different reasons, collaborations, or they want to have permission to use a song or something.
Oh, right.
That happens quite frequently, actually. I had a band from Belgium here, young guys. Wanted to have permission to use the song Pure Fucking Armageddon. And then it was another band. These guys are like 16, 17 years old.
Oh, that's awesome.
And already putting out albums and stuff. Because today, it's not... You can release... you can record stuff at home, these days, and release it on the internet. Back in the days, you had needed a record deal to release anything.
Right.
So it's a huge difference today.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to put out music now, and I think that's why there's just so much going on. This scene, the black metal scene, is so huge, and it's because, man, it's so much easier to record.
It's another thing with all this thing is that one of the spin-offs that all this band starts is all their fans and all their locals, they go to their shows and stuff. It's all growing. I can see all these other trends come and go, like glam rock came in the 80s, left, came back a little bit, left again. And some other type of metal came in, went out. While this kind of music has had a steady, going line all the way from 1981 until today, and it's still growing, maybe faster than ever, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
It's one of the music styles that never died out, anything, just get new interest all the time. And when you thought it was not evolving anymore, suddenly out of the woodwork, some fucking new band came out and just revolutionized the whole fucking thing again.
Yeah.
That's agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
True. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all it takes is one band to absolutely revolutionize and change, what people think. And
Mayhem.
Yeah, like Mayhem. You guys were really extreme back in the day, and I must thank you for that so much, because I love, I'm the black and death metal guy here. I've been listening to this stuff since the 90s, and yeah, the extreme stuff is my home, and you have brought so much of that to me with Mayhem. So just a couple more questions.
Sure.
You already said that you listen to the Rolling Stones. Is there anything else that you listen to that's non-metal that might surprise us? I don't want to say stuff that you don't want to tell us, but be proud of what you listen to. And I'm proud of all the weirdo stuff I listen to, like the Rolling Stones. Heck, I like the Beatles. But what do you listen to, man, besides metal?
Yeah, a very diverse music taste. These days, when I'm out bicycling, because that's what I do for exercise, I can tell you the last albums I downloaded, just listened to. downloaded Game, produced by Dr. Dre.
Oh, right on.
I have some Depeche Mode, especially a remix album that I'm listening to a lot. There is some aggressive music. I had just downloaded the full catalog of Death. So, listening to that. So I listen to some traditional aggressive music, like Napalm Death, for example. I'm a huge Napalm Death fan.
Yeah, Napalm Death is still amazing.
Unbelievable. They are just getting more and more brutal. Everybody is getting old and softies in their ways. These guys are just getting fucking more and more brutal. It's just...
I absolutely agree. You know who else is killing it lately is Nile. Nile and Napalm Death seem to just be, it doesn't matter how old they get. Those guys are just destroying it.
Yeah, we used to tour with Nile fucking 20 years ago, so...
Yeah.
But who is in that band? I mean...
it's changed so much. It's mostly the main guy, Carl Sanders is the main guy.
Yeah, he's the guitarist.
Right. But as far as like the drummer, the other guitarists, they've shifted quite a few times. But they're still, because it's mostly written by Carl, it still sounds like Nile every album. So yeah, they're doing great. They're brutal.
I really like the first two albums.
Yeah, me too.
When they had that Egyptian stuff in there, that was kind of a new twist to it.
I ordered their first album, Amongst the Catacombs of Neferenka, when I was like 18, or whenever it came out. I think it was about 18, and I had to order that from my local music store, and it came, and the first time I heard it, I was so pumped because I love ancient Egyptian history and I love death metal, so I was just absolutely beside. I was so happy,
Combination.
Yeah, it was like everything I ever wanted. So yeah, totally. So tell us a little bit about the new album. Tell us the name of the album, and what's your favorite track on it?
Yeah, the album is called Demon. I would say Aeon Dominion is also my favorite track.
That's a great track.
Mentioned.
Yeah, awesome track.
It has a awesome bass lick in the middle there.
Yep.
Which I told Taylor that I thought he had written it for me. He didn't say anything, but later on he said that, well, yeah, I might have been right. So it was in the ways we wrote songs in the 80s,
Yeah.
So really, really cool. Let's see what to say about it.
And besides, it's amazing.
It's so many things. We don't have time to put all that into one radio show, but I would say that immediately after recording, I knew that this was the best album we did since, let's say, Chimera.
Yeah.
And that we gave them 12 songs,
right,
plus 4 cover songs, so that's 16 songs we gave to the company, Central Media.
Wow.
And then when I started to think about it, I called my manager and said, hey, mate, maybe we should release an EP, like the album and an EP or something, because there was so much material. And they, normally we just have 8 songs, just to get the 45 minutes.
Right.
But basically he told me, that was too late. But so I was thinking, okay, here we gave the record company almost twice as much music for this album than we have ever given for any records album. And when we were recording, we were thinking, we're going to cut out some songs. But they were so good. It was hard to find out any to cut out. And in the end, actually, in the end, one song was cut.
Oh, really?
actually, it was a good song, and I know Tellock was a little bit pissed off on that, because it was one of his songs.
So, well, I mean, do you have plans with this song? Could you maybe release a split with another band?
I don't know. There was some talk about that we're going to use the song for something, but I think Tellock was so pissed off that he was going to use it for some other project or something.
Oh.
With that. But, this is in the heat of the... Think about it. If your song is like, no, that's not good enough, that's never good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the fact that it was not good enough. It was just too different. It kind of didn't fit in.
Right.
With the others.
Right.
That was the argument.
Right.
And the artwork is so on the fucking music. Obviously, we sent the guy the demos and stuff.
Right.
So he get into what this album was about and the lyrics and stuff. And when I saw the album, the cover, the artwork, I was like, I was blown away. Blown away.
Right.
I was just, yeah.
It looks good. It looks awesome.
It is so on the music, plus the artistic thing to it is, it could easily be in a fucking museum.
I think it's honestly one of your best album covers, and
not
honestly,
a museum, but a gallery. Sorry,
yeah.
not a museum. That's old.
I knew
a gallery.
I knew what you meant. we knew what you meant, but yeah, we agree. It's awesome, and
they should put it right next to the Mona Lisa.
Right. But
right up to that one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned briefly that you think this is the best album since Chimera. I have to agree. Chimera was an awesome album. That is absolutely a beast of an album. But this one has really got me, man. I think I might like this one more too. So So how about one more question?
Yeah.
All right, this one will be a fun one. Okay, so you've been touring. You've been playing in this band for so long. I know you've got a funny story or two. Have you seen anything, another band, or even your own band? Have you had any crazy mishaps on stage? Something wacky that happened, or maybe somebody in the crowd was really an idiot? I mean, we've heard everything from guys falling out of windows. We've heard of people vomiting on stage. I mean, we've heard it all. So we want to hear a good story, a good funny story from you.
I mean, where to start? Which one to pick?
You can do more than one.
It's so many. But to pick something... Oh, fuck, should I say this on the radio?
Absolutely.
It's after 10 now, so we're good.
Let's just pick one.
Okay.
We are on the way to a festival in Austria. On the way, blasphemer got stabbed.
Whoa.
In the leg.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like with a knife?
Say with a fucking knife.
Whoa. Yeah. Gnarly. Okay.
So but he's not a quitter. So he shows up to the airport, but he has to be driven around in these small carts. With the drive handicaps and the elderly, in the airports.
Right.
But he was already drunk. We were all drunk back in the days. So I just noticed that he was swishing around and making orders to these people, like to driving to the tax-free and stuff like that. So basically, I arrived to the place, and we have pig heads.
Right.
Back in the days, we used to have some pig heads on stage.
Right. I remember seeing pictures of those old days.
Yeah, and sometimes as a part of the thing, we threw out the pig head for the fun of it to the audience. But we would always say, Maniac would always say, "Watch out, here it comes," And this is a festival. It's a huge stage. It's several meters down. So he just throws this thing out. I'm following the head with my eyes, and it's goes down to the first row, and there's a little girl standing on the front row, looking the other way.
Oh man!
No.
And I just see the head hitting her head, and she goes straight down.
Oh man!
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard about this before. I feel like I read about this in a Metal Maniacs interview one time, but I actually have my facts a little bit wrong because I know this story, but I thought it was a goat head. So close.
That's another story. That's
Oh, never mind. I guess I know that one.
Let me finish this one first. So I went over to the production office to get our money. But then they said that, there is a problem here. There was this accident and stuff, so they were already aware of it. And but I managed to get the money out. But afterwards, they refused to send the money from the merchandise.
Oh.
And we had to threaten these guys to send the money. And then we got a letter from the lawyer saying that we had to take full responsible for serious head injuries and stuff.
What a
so
mess.
We never did that, of course, but I mean, that was a shitty thing. But let's take the sheephead. We arrived in Bergen, and we were supposed to have pig heads, but this is in Bergen, so there's a lot of sheep there. So they got sheep. It was a big old sheephead. Same thing. Last song, Maniac says to the crowd, "Watch out, here it comes." Throws the goat head out. Full force out to the crowd. There's a guy standing in the back checking out some chicks. And the whole thing is like in the day after in the papers, that's when we read about it. Because the guy is thrown out of the club because people thought the bouncers thought he was drunk. Thrown him out of the club. He got home in a taxi. His father, he got a splitting headache, so his father said, "Fuck, we need to go to the emergency clinic." So they go there and they see, "Oh fuck, you got a fractured skull."
Whoa.
Oh.
And they're like, "Oh shit, what the fuck happened?" You know, and then they
sheephead,
back
you know,
and investigate, and turns out what happened is that he's standing there looking at some other chicks or something. His head hits him in the head.
Wow.
He goes down.
You know what? That's
so when
what.
he sent in the paper the day after, it's like, "Well, I'm glad it happened on the last song, so I caught the show."
You know what? That's what he gets for not. That's what he gets for not paying attention to Mayhem. He should have been paying attention to you guys on stage.
Later, you know, because I was afraid he was going to sue us. So I was thinking, "Fuck, I better call him," you know, and to, you know, give him some tickets to the next show or something like that. But everything was all right with him. He was a huge fan.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, well, we do have to wrap up this show. It has been epic and awesome talking to you. I have one quick question. It is a very quick question, and I would like you don't get into this too much if you don't want to. And you don't even have to answer it if you don't want to, but it came to me on the Mayhem De Mysterious Dom Satanis album. There's a picture of 3 people, just their faces. One of them is Euronymous. One of them is Hellhammer. Who was the third guy?
That's Attila Tihar.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
It's Attila.
Oh, Attila. Okay, I thought it was, but I wasn't sure, and it seems like that's a rumor that has not really ever been confirmed. So thank you very much for answering that. That's really freaking awesome. This has been the awesomest interview ever. You are the man. Damon is amazing. Be sure to tell your bandmates how much we love it.
Yeah, and we appreciate you so much, NECROBUTCHER, for being on the show, man. It makes our dreams come true. We're a small town in Ashland, Oregon, and having you grace us with your presence is amazing. And could you do us one last favor before we let you go?
Sure.
Could you say this is NECROBUTCHER from Mayhem and you're listening to the Metal Mixtape?
Yeah. this is NECROBUTCHER from Mayhem, and you're listening to the Metal Mixtapes.
Thank you so much, brother. You have a good rest of your morning, and thank you so much again, and you have a nice rest of your day.
Thanks so much, man.
Take care, man.
Thank you, man.
Have a great day.
Thanks. All right. Goodbye.
Keep it metal.
Hey! We just got done talking to NECROBUTCHER from Mayhem. Holy moly, guacamole with extra cheese, big old burrito, chips on the side. That was great.
Dude, you
Yeah.
killed that.
Oh, thanks, man. I can't believe I actually got that final answer for a mystery that has been. This album came out in '94, and there's been some question. There's been some question over who that third face is because there were a few people involved in this project besides the main two. But yeah, apparently it was the vocalist Attila. That's badass, dude. He was such a nice guy.
NECROBUTCHER,
Such an awesome
for Mayhem.
guy.
Very humble.
Much respect.
dude.
I love Mayhem.
Yeah, dude.
I am.
But we have to refer to him as NECROBIKER from now on, right? Yeah, dude.
NECROBIKER.
NECROBIKER, yeah. That's cool. I like biking too. So yeah, that was awesome.